And I want to thank the Young Dems for actually putting this event on. Tyler Maxwell invited me and said, can you come this date? And I said, well, I've also got my Tio Polo's 95th birthday today. He's a World War II veteran. They have beer and they have mariachis. So this is what I'm missing to come out here today. I didn't get the chance to get my graces over there. Criminal justice reform, we need to have an independent council actually investigate police shootings so that it is fully independent, just like the NTSB does with transportation. And how can we actually arrest activists fighting for the causes of those of us that are black and brown, and yet the police do nothing in my beloved city of Philadelphia when they're out rioting, celebrating my beloved Eagles winning the Super Bowl? The selection here on how we actually choose to incarcerate people needs to stop, and we have to have a good look at who's actually running these places to make sure that we put people of good heart in there. And lastly, I just want to bring up bail reform. The money bail system has to end so that we stop people who are poor from pleading guilty to a crime that is 100% defendable. So, Sarah, I believe that's where we start. This is the question that probably upsets me the most. I'm glad you brought more wine, James. But 800,000 young, productive members of our society, yeah, we'll shut down the government for them. For two reasons. Number one, 85% of the country approves of them and believes that they should have legal status right now. So why is any party playing them as a political pinball? It is 100% immoral. If you agree with it on the business world and the boardroom, you salute it and someone executes it, end of story. I know people have said hurtful things and we don't agree with everything that they say with us sometimes. But if it means actually passing a clean DACA bill, then hell yeah. Imagine being an employer who's employing DACA recipients and one day has your labor force walk out or disappear on you. That's another strong economic issue. And I'm sick and tired of people having to wait now 20, 30 years for meaningful immigration reform. And the only way people will actually finally feel that pain is to shut the government down. I'm sorry, some of these people have already had their parents deported. They don't get to go back home to their families the way that legislators and everybody else does when they are furloughed. So I would shut it down. Some of you know that I have this lofty ambition of creating a full research institution, medical school, here in the Central Valley to serve a lot of different needs. But we cannot do that unless we can prove where we're going to get the water from and how we're going to store that. That's just the new way of doing things here in the Central Valley. So we do have to increase storage above ground and below ground in those aquifers. And we need to invest federal money into programs that will help us with smart water usage, both in our homes as well as in agriculture. You've seen us do it with solar. Solar power with affordable natural gas is what's taking us off of coal right now, and we can do that here in the Western United States. Because that's how you build a coalition together to do big things. Those beautiful lakes that I go fishing in that my father took me on when I was a little kid, all four of those were built under one main water project many years ago. And to think that we would try and propose something like that in our political climate is almost impossible. I don't think it's impossible. It's time for new leadership on water and to start over. Yeah, I'll work with anybody. In my professional career, we've never sat at a board meeting or any kind of client meeting and said, okay, now which one of you are the Republicans? Sit over here, and which one of you are the Democrats? Sit over there. Because the reality is that money is always on the line. And one of the things in terms about being out there is making sure that you don't just talk the talk, but that you walk the walk. And so for those of you that have seen me through this campaign, you know that I have visited deported veterans down in Tijuana already. I have stood in the homes of undocumented people and people who do not have water right here in this valley. So I just want to thank you guys for the opportunity to address you yet again, if you are good friends, and my opportunity to introduce myself too, if this is the first time that we are meeting. Please shake my hand and let's have another glass too before this beautiful night's over. Thank you.